So I started this morning with one of the several Netflix films directed by women that are currently streaming that I am behind on. This one just got added on Friday. There's like three or four more that I am going to attempt to watch before I go to Italy, but I also have a bunch of films I need to watch um, for a film festival that I'm a juror on. So we'll see what happens. But this one I had to watch opening weekend because it is several of my favorite people all working on one film. This is Nappily Ever After. It's based on a book that I have not read, um, but it's directed by Haifaa al-Mansour, who did Wajah, which is so good, and Mary Shelley, which sort of got dumped into limited release in June and kind of got middling reviews, but I thought it was fantastic. And so now I'm three for three for Haifaa. And then there's several credited screenwriters, but two of them are two of my favorite filmmakers, Tina Gordon Chisholm and Gina Prince-Bythewood. I wore my shirt. I don't know if you can see it. This is my shirt. It's from Urban World. I think you can still buy it on their website. I love Gina Prince-Bythewood. Gina Prince-Bythewood gave us, her Sanaa Lathan's breakout role in Love and Basketball, and she should have been a huge, 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 huge star just on that role alone. And she made several great films like Brown Sugar and Something New, one of my all-time favorites. But she's never quite broken out. And even The Perfect Guy is an amazing film. I couldn't watch it when it came out because it was during a year with women, but I watched it like 3 times as soon as I was able to. Tina Gordon Chisholm wrote a great film called Peoples. Wrote and directed. It's called Peoples. It is sort of a hate to compare it to other films, but it's sort of a black version of Meet the Parents, and it is really good. And if you are a fan of Kerry Washington or Craig Robinson, you should definitely watch it. Don't watch the trailer. The trailer makes it seem a lot zanier than it is. It's really just a sweet film. But anyways, Nappily Ever After. Sanaa Lathan, she is so good. It also includes some great performances from Ernie Hudson, Lynn Whitfield, Ricky Whittle, Lyric Brent, and in a breakout youth performance, where did her name go? Oh my God, it just went away. It's Gabrielle something or other. She plays like a daughter in this, and maybe it's not Gabrielle. That's the younger her. Daria Johns. She is so funny as the sort of wise preteen. She's so good. So basically, the plot of this is that Sanaa Lathan plays a woman named Violet who works at an ad agency. She sells beauty products. She's really good at it, basically making women feel terrible and men desire women. That is her job. She has hair issues going back to her childhood when her mother would spend once a week using a hot comb to straighten her hair. She had a very traumatic incident in a pool, and this has shaped her entire life. When her boyfriend doesn't ask her to marry her, but instead gives her a dog, and she has a traumatic experience at a hair salon, she tries to change her hair completely, goes blonde, and then after another disastrous night, just shaves it all off in an amazing scene, almost all in one take. Very reminiscent of G.I. Jane, but much more rich use of emotion, because in G.I. Jane, it's liberating in that she's just like, fuck it, I need to not have hair to do this training. In this, it's fuck it, I need to get rid of a lot of baggage in my life, and that's going to be my hair. And then the rest of the film is her dealing with what she's done, dealing with all of this baggage that she's had that's not necessarily her hair, but her hair symbolizes it. And I think that women in general, and Black women in particular, have a unique relationship with their hair that I don't know that men will ever truly understand. And even though the sort of second romantic lead slash magical hairstylist is a dude, I don't think men will ever quite get it. And I think this film does a great job of analyzing the way in which hair, both beauty standards and through just emotional trauma, can affect your life. I had horribly tangled hair as a child, and I spent every Saturday night with my mom basically yelling at me while she combed out these tangles that I couldn't reach it. And it's not my fault that it was tangled, but I spent years getting over that trauma. I also had a horrible hairstylist who used to, my parents would drop me off to get my hair cut, and this guy would just yell at me. Like, literally yell at me and call me a bad person because of my hair. And I spent years not telling anybody about this. I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell anyone. I just, like, thought I was a bad person because I couldn't deal with my hair because my arms are short and I couldn't reach the back of my head, okay? But I learned to deal with it, and I felt when I went to college and I could pay for my own haircuts, because I remember I got my hair cut short once and it caused a lot of problems when I was in high school. People teased me. My mom was not very supportive of the short. And then when I went to college and I was like, you know what, I can do whatever the fuck I want with my hair, and I cut it all kinds of different ways, including Winona Ryder and Girl Interrupted short, which I loved that. And then, as you well know, if you've been following my blog, I used to have a blonde mohawk, and then I shaved my head. And being able to change your hair and being able to let it reflect who you really are and not who you wish you were or who society says you should be is such a liberating feeling. And this film does a really good job of showcasing how much people's identity can get tied into the way they present themselves, and specifically the way they present their hair. It also goes even deeper in the racial politics of Black women's hair. And it does it in a very interesting way, wrapped in a very wonderful rom-com package. Although it's not 100% a rom-com because, spoilers, she does not end up with any of the men. Instead, she just finds a better job, gets happy with who she is, and is going to go into her future a stronger person. Whether she ends up with one of the guys or not, who gives a fuck? And I loved that about the end of this movie. Just absolutely loved it. I also loved the girl played by Daria Johns, who is being raised to love her hair as it is, and to know that she has options, and she can do natural hair, or she can do straightened hair. She can do whatever she wants with her hair. It's up to her, and either way, she's beautiful, and that's a strong message, just in general. There were one last thing I wanted to mention. Oh, there's a shot towards the beginning of the film where she's, just done her hair, and she's waiting for it to get engaged. This is her goal, and the heels that she's wearing are digging into the back of her ankle, and there's an insert shot of the heel causing this blister, and I don't know that I've ever seen that portrayed in a film, so period, let alone like right up in the, like, here is this bloody stump of an ankle. I was like, yes, because who hasn't worn a goddamn pair of shoes that's I wear black flats, and I get that every time I break in a new pair, and it's awful, and I'm glad that that is now in a movie. I feel like there's one more thing I wanted to mention about this. What was it? What was it? Just, I love Sanaa Lathan. She is such a dynamic lead, and she has great chemistry with everyone, with the men, with her girlfriends, with her parents, with the little dog, with her coworkers. Oh yeah, that's the scene. There's a scene where she pitches this beer ad that's really built around selling the beer to both men and women, and it's really insightful and sort of game changing. And then her white male co-workers pitch this really sexist, dated, awful ad, and her boss goes with that because he's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And she's like, I guess that depends on your perspective. And that is such a strong moment because it's like, basically Hollywood, where it's at, is stuck where it ain't broke, don't fix it. And a whole bunch of people are like, it's broken, we're telling you it's broken, fix it. And they're like, but I don't see that it's broken. And it's like, it depends on who is saying what is and is not broken. And that was such a powerful moment where it was like, these women are saying it's broken and you're not listening. And it's just so wonderful to see all of these films by women that are showing things like the feet, showing hair trauma in a real, true, realistic way even though it is a bit in that rom-com chick lit, I love chick lit, I don't say that in a derogatory way, storytelling mode, because you can have this clear fiction with truth in it, and I think this film does that really well. I also want, I wish, I can't write this because I don't know it from experience, but I want um, to read something that reflects the hair issues in this and the hair issues in Something New, because they're very similarly rooted in the relationships with the protagonist and their mother, and westernized beauty standards, and um, straight hair, good hair versus curly hair, natural hair. And I don't have enough. I don't have a perspective, the proper perspective, to analyze the films from those angles about those aspects. And is it done well? Is it presented well? Because this is all I know. I'd like to know that. So someone let me know if you have thoughts on that. And anyways, you should watch this movie. It's on Netflix. I recommend it. Sanaa Lathan is amazing. It's a great rom-com. It's so many great Black women have worked on this film, and it's just, it only has 4 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and that makes me really sad. 3 of them are positive, though, and then you can count this as positive, although it won't be on Rotten Tomatoes, but, whatever. Go see this movie, watch it on Netflix, enjoy it, eat some popcorn. It's fantastic.